What if the reason you feel tired after 70 in your age, but your timing? Most people over 65 just assume that low energy is the price of getting older. You wake up slower, you move slower, and you definitely recover slower. That's just how it goes, right? But what if I told you that some 84-year-olds feel sharper and more energized than they did at 60? Not because of their genetics, and not because of expensive supplements, but because of 3 tiny little minutes they protect every single day. And here's the part that might surprise you. The habits that are draining your energy at 75. They often started building when you were just 35. Let's rewind for a second. In your 20s and 30s, your body runs on a surplus. You have high growth hormone, strong mitochondrial function, and quick muscle recovery. You can skip sleep, eat poorly, ignore stress, and somehow still feel decent the next day. Your cells are just incredibly resilient. But then, in your 40s, subtle changes begin. Your muscle mass starts to decline, about 3 to 8% every decade after you turn 30. That's not dramatic at first. You don't even notice it, but muscle is your metabolic currency. It controls your glucose, it supports your balance, and it fuels your energy production. At the same time, stress is accumulating. Careers are peaking, caregiving responsibilities increase, and cortisol stays elevated for longer. According to large American health surveys, metabolic risk factors begin climbing sharply right in the middle of our lives. Blood pressure rises, insulin sensitivity drops. Energy just feels a little less reliable, but most of us, we just push through it. Then comes the big shift after 70 that most people completely ignore. Your mitochondria, the tiny energy factories inside your cells, become less efficient. Research in aging biology shows that mitochondrial decline is one of the core drivers of fatigue in older adults. Now, combine that with reduced muscle mass and slower circulation, and the entire system becomes fragile. And this is the breaking point. You wake up one day and you realize you feel old. Not just tired, old. You start to move less because you're tired. And because you move less, your muscles shrink even faster. Because your muscle shrinks, your blood sugar regulation gets worse. And because your blood sugar fluctuates, your energy crashes even harder. It's a classic cause and effect spiral. The CDC reports that nearly 28% of adults over 65 are physically inactive. And this inactivity accelerates cardiovascular decline, increases your risk of falling, and worsens your cognitive performance. And here's the fallout from all of that. Fatigue leads to fewer social outings. Fewer outings lead to isolation. And we know that isolation is linked to higher risks of heart disease and cognitive decline. Your healthcare costs rise, and your independence shrinks. So, what do seniors do? They try all the failed fixes: more caffeine, energy drinks, long naps, and all those expensive supplements you see advertised late at night. But none of these things address the root cause. Because energy after 70 is not about stimulation, it's about activation. Now, let me tell you about those 3-minute habits I mentioned earlier. But first, you have to understand this. Longevity researchers who study the so-called blue zones, these pockets of the world where people live exceptionally long and healthy lives, notice something incredibly consistent. People in their 80s and 90s who remain active don't rely on intense, hour-long workouts. They rely on consistent, daily micro-movements, small inputs, repeated every single day. Habit number 1 is 3 minutes of intentional muscle activation immediately after you wake up, before your coffee, before the television. Before you check your phone, just stand up. Do some slow, gentle chair squats. Try some wall push-ups. Do calf raises while holding onto the kitchen counter. You're not trying to sweat here. You're sending a signal to your body. Muscle activation increases your blood flow. It stimulates your mitochondria, and it improves your insulin sensitivity. Studies show that even these short bursts of resistance-style movement can significantly improve glucose control in older adults. 3 minutes. That's it. Habit number 2 is 3 minutes of deep nasal breathing combined with posture correction. Here's something most seniors never hear. As we age, our lung elasticity decreases. Our posture tends to collapse slightly, shoulders round forward, and that reduces your oxygen efficiency. Less oxygen means less cellular energy. By practicing slow, controlled breathing while standing tall, you improve oxygen delivery and you stimulate your vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is a superstar. It regulates your heart rate variability, which is strongly linked to resilience and longevity. 3 minutes of upright breathing can reset your entire nervous system before the day even begins. Habit number 3 is 3 minutes of intentional sunlight exposure. Within 30 minutes of waking, step outside or just sit by a bright window. That morning light is crucial for anchoring your circadian rhythm, and strong circadian rhythms improve your sleep quality. Better sleep, in turn, improves growth hormone release and cellular repair. According to American sleep studies, poor sleep is directly linked to higher risks of obesity, diabetes, and memory decline in older adults. 3 minutes of light in the morning can completely change your night. Now, here's the twist. These habits seem so small that they feel like they couldn't possibly matter. That's exactly why most people skip them. But aging biology works through accumulation. Tiny daily neglect compounds over time. And guess what? Tiny daily activation compounds too. Over a few months, those 3 minutes of muscle activation protect your strength. 3 minutes of breathing protects your nervous system's stability. And 3 minutes of sunlight protects your sleep and your hormone cycles. The pattern repeats itself across millions of seniors. Those who move early in the day consistently report higher energy and fewer falls. Those who anchor their sleep cycles show better cognitive scores in long-term studies. This isn't just hype, it's pure physiology. But here's a very clear and important warning. If you are experiencing unexplained, severe fatigue, chest pain, or dizziness, do not try to self-treat with exercise alone. Persistent fatigue can be a signal of serious underlying conditions like heart disease, anemia, or thyroid disorders. Please, always rule out medical causes with your doctor first. Now, let's link this all to today. America's population over 80 is growing rapidly, and our healthcare systems are strained. The difference between living with independence and living with dependency often comes down to your daily function. You don't need a grueling hour-long routine, you just need consistency. So, here are 3 direct actions you can apply starting tomorrow. First, set a timer for 3 minutes and perform simple strength movements right after you wake up. Second, stand tall and practice slow, deep breathing with full lung expansion before you have your breakfast. And third, expose your eyes to natural light within the first half hour of your day. That's 9 minutes total. If you try this and feel even a slight shift in your energy after a week, come back and comment below to tell me what changed. If this video challenged your idea of what aging has to be, please press the like button so more seniors can see it. And share it with someone you know who says they read just too old to feel better. And here's the thought I want you to carry into the next video. What if feeling old is not a number, but a rhythm problem? In our next deep dive, we're going to uncover another overlooked daily trigger that quietly accelerates aging after 70. Subscribe now so you don't miss it. Because 84 can absolutely feel like 50. But only if you train your body to remember how.